like 99% done, like 99% done. They are ready to sign off. And this is incredibly important because this impacts retail. In addition to that, midterms are right here. And we know that one particular side does not like crypto any way, shape, or form, while the other side is pro crypto. And again, it doesn't make sense because crypto is for everybody, but I digress. And the reason why midterms are so important is because that's when people start figuring out who they're going to vote for, and we can kind of get an idea as to who's going to come into office. So this is all incredibly important. But the issue with politics is that we know that the SAVE Act was a big thing, meaning that President Trump said he wasn't going to sign any other bill or act until until the SAVE Act was done. And that is kind of, still on its way. But we also know that the crypto market structure is incredibly important. He wants that done because it's really a small issue. It's not that big of an issue. In his mind, again, we've got conflicts going on, all kinds of stuff happening. So I'm going to give you guys an update as to what's going on with crypto market structure. But really, at the end of the day, watch until the end. Retail is going to absolutely get decimated because the banks they're budging on yield a little bit, but it's not what we want. And thank goodness that we have Vlad from Robinhood, the CEO founder, actually speaking out. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase is doing a decent job, but Vlad actually broke this down incredibly well. So as far as the Clarity Act update, so make sure you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and of course set alerts, and shout out to the channel members. Good morning to Mr. CJ. So as far as the Clarity Act goes, update. Cynthia Loomis says stablecoin yields talks are making progress, but the topic is still delicate, and the negotiations are 99% complete. She says broader crypto market structure is in strong position. Focusing is shifting to who needs to be convinced. Lawmakers are pushing to release a House study on yield stablecoin. This is the thing. The banks have gone back and forth saying we don't care about deposits fleeting, but we do care. Like it's just this massive circle jerk, and it's incredibly frustrating because now if we do a study on yield on stablecoins, we're essentially going to get halted. That part is going to get halted, and they're going to pass the Clarity Act without a provision regarding yield on stablecoins. And to get that to go through later on is going to be insane. So the fact that the banks waited this long, like we knew that they were shady, but you really don't need a study to show. I mean, you can do the study while it's approved and then you can make adjustments later, but this is absolutely ridiculous. So what I am envisioning happening, and I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, I just have to speak out about this because it impacts retail and impacts all of us. It's literally like an extra $350 a year or $500 a year, but these guys are being such penny pinchers. It's annoying. Like to do a study, it's going to cost time and money, and it's just ridiculous. Like most people aren't even going to use yield on stable coins for quite some time unless it's offered at their bank. Like people are not going to be pulling their money out of their bank account and depositing it into crypto exchanges just to get the yield on stable coins. Like most Americans don't have time for that. So anyways, the study reportedly leans positive for crypto, allegedly. Some senators are planning to pressure the White House to publish it, and there are new discussions around adding bank deregulation to the Clarity Act. The banks have already been deregulated. Like, the banks get to do whatever they want to do, number one. And number two, the banks are also required to hold zero assets, zero reserves. And that was done during 2020. So it's just, like, ridiculous here, okay? Nothing is, like, crypto's not screwed. Retail is the one that's getting screwed. Like, and you guys also have to understand too, like, that's cool. Y'all like XRP, and I love making XRP content for you, Ripple content, but Ripple XRP is not Jesus, okay? It's not coming down to save you. It's not going to change the world in a positive manner for you unless you're able to make money off of it, okay? That's it. So the cult-like behavior needs to to stop. Just letting you guys know because it's just so, there's so many bigger things at stake here. Really, really is. Anyways. According to Mike Novogratz, he's like, yeah, this is going to get passed. But again, it still has to deal with the yield on stablecoins. Now, there was, let me pull it up. So we got an update yesterday. And the reason why I'm giving you guys all the background and stuff like that, because it's important. We're building a story here. Now, yesterday, it was announced that there was an update with yield on stablecoins. Senators reached a deal with the White House to resolve stablecoin yield dispute with banks. So I went ahead and I read what was going on so I can make this video for you guys and explain it to you. So banks are scared that yield on stablecoins will siphon deposits and do not want to give retail the 4 to 5% yield. Allegedly, crypto firms will be banned from using terms like interest or yield for stablecoin rewards and limited returns guaranteed. and the Senate still needs to vote. So basically what would happen is they came to a resolution, but the verbiage is going to be restricted, which is stupid. It's honestly stupid, because you get emails from your banks anyway saying, hey, if you open a CD, you get a short-term 4% or 5% or whatever it is, but they just don't want your money to leave the banks. But again, most people right now, because we're in a recession, like we're just not doing well in America economically. People can't afford basic goods and services, food, shelter, energy. So these banks are acting like people have additional income to remove from their bank and put to a crypto deposit, which instead they should see this as a positive opportunity instead of being like corporate capitalism snakes and saying, hey, no, let's go ahead and do the same thing. But they don't want to do that because they would rather pay you less than 1%. This is why I get so frustrated. And shout out to Lawrence. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Today's actually not a good day. My personal TikTok account that I got just talking about like whatever got banned for impersonation. I just cannot wait to retire from the internet. But anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day and thank you so much. So that's what's going on. Basically banks want to come in and kind of like dictate what terms and stuff are used, which is stupid, but you know, they just love to waste taxpayers' time and money. And the silver lining here was Mr. Vlad from Robinhood, okay? He came out and he said, we must unleash the yield safely. We're at a momentous turning point for our industry. If Congress passed the Clarity Act, we finally get regulation certainty we've been advocating. So what's holding up yield on stablecoins? And he goes on to talk about tokenization, how it's driving convergence of TradFi and crypto, with stablecoins as a clear frontrunner, but the environment makes holding stablecoins structurally disadvantaged. With rates at 3.5% for a $10,000 savings balance earns $350 per year. A stablecoin balance, zero. And I don't know where he's getting 3.5%. I have no idea where he's getting 3.5% because my savings account does not pay that. It pays less than 1%. I digress. He goes on to say, consumers are rational and they want yield as their balances to grow. Today, they're forced into unnecessary conversions or high fee wrappers just to earn a return, which adds friction and counterparty risk. Why force consumers through these hoops? We have the tech to rebate yield automatically. Beyond pushing the consumer, the bank-led anti-yield position is counterproductive for three reasons. Alternative already exists, money market funds, which hit an all-time high of $8 trillion in December of 2025. The thing is, though, is most average people will not be using those because number one, they don't have the additional capital left over. And number two, like, I don't know if you guys have tried to open new bank accounts or any of that stuff, okay? The reason why is like, I get emails from my bank all the time. Hey, open this, do that, blah, blah, blah. I can't even get a damn appointment. You can't do it online. So whatever. Then he says the money stays in the system. And number three, stable coins are bank accounts. So basically he's just, he's just kind of advocating for retail, which is important. Now, moral of the story is that it looks like a deal has been reached. And we're going to get something done, but I think that it's not going to be good for retail in the long run. And again, I get a lot of people that are like, oh, we don't care. We just want to get this crypto market structure done. That's because you guys come from ivory towers. That's because you come from a place to where you either have access to these products or services, or on the complete opposite, you don't understand how this works and you don't understand that your rights are being infringed upon. So yield on stablecoins is important. If people want to get access to additional income, they should be able to. And it shouldn't be a big issue. It's literally not a big issue. Like, it's not. But again, the banks have controlled the United States for far too long. And they have continued to push these predatory practices and get away with it. And the reason why is they have a lot of money that they make from you. And then they pay politicians, and the politicians are sold to the highest bidder, which is why we keep having all of these crazy problems in the United States of America when it comes to the banking industry and whatnot. And that's what's going on. So at the end of the day, it looks like we're going to get something done. I'm curious to see the final markup of the bill. But other than that, I'm not feeling very optimistic, and I'm sorry. But anyway, sending y'all love and light. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, set alerts, and I'll be back later today. Goodbye.